A slick, mature, customizable interface, easier harmonic mixing, and a new event scheduler feature that lets you sequence music, videos, and images. This is Virtual DJ 2020. It's the latest version of the Virtual DJ app for PC and Mac. And it's an update to Virtual DJ 2018, which was released a year ago at the time of this filming. And by the time that you watch this, it'll be available to download over on the Virtual DJ site. So basically, we got a chance to test it right before it dropped. And in this first look video, we're gonna focus on 3 standout features of this app. First is the spiffy, new, and mature interface that looks really professional, especially when compared to earlier versions of Virtual DJ. Next up, we're gonna check out the advanced harmonic mixing feature that lets you automatically sync the musical key of 2 or more songs. And finally, we'll check out the new event scheduler feature, which is something cool for mobile and pro DJs who do events that are heavy on background music, voiceovers, and DJ idents and stingers. Now, give this video a like and let me know what you think in the comments below, especially if you're using a different DJ software and whether or not these new features make you want to hop aboard. Without further ado, let's get to it. All right, and here is the new interface. A little bit more somber, a little bit more muted in terms of colors, and the graphics are also a little bit flatter, I would say. Of course, we're taking a look at the Pro layout currently, and we can use this drop-down to check out the other layouts, which we will do later on in this video. But right now, let's just focus on this for now. The layout is still pretty much the same. You got your 2 decks over in here, your waveform display at the top, as well as the browser over here on the bottom. Now, let's add some music so we can see what the new waveforms look like. And just before we load music from our hard drive, again, streaming is a big deal in Virtual DJ 2020. You can click on online music and you've got access to all of these streaming services. You got iDJ Pool, you got VJ Pro for video, Digitrax for karaoke, Deezer. You can also connect to Deezer if you want to play music from streaming. SoundCloud's in here. Beatport link is in here as well. And yeah, I've also got like an offline locker in here for the streaming services over in here that do allow you to save tracks over in your offline cache. Right, so let's go to local music. I'm gonna go to iTunes and let's add a song in here. Mermaids, or yeah, how about this one? Okay, cool. So let's try loading this on the left deck. Okay, you've got your blue waveform over here at the top. And let's try this one. Like the song. Okay, cool. So this is what it looks like with the songs loaded. And still, the interface, it just looks, again, really mature, not too flashy. It's kind of understated. And I like that just because, you know, when you're at the club, you don't really want to see like a lot of flashing lights and all that stuff while you're DJing. You just want to focus on what's important. And I think by having like a predominantly gray interface over here with only some stuff highlighted, like, you know, the play button, the cue, as well as the waveforms, it allows you to just be able to zero in quickly on the information that you need in order to perform. So let's try this out. I'm going to hit play. Awesome. And the slider over here lets you zoom out or zoom in on the waveforms. And the cool thing about Virtual DJ 2020 is you can customize the way that these waveforms look. Just go to Layouts and go to Waveform Display, and you can change these if you like. Let's take a look at some of these settings here. Rhythm Enhance gives you half the waveform so you can see the spikes. You can also take a look at Mirrored Rhythm. So this lets you overlay the full waveform on top of each other if you're spinning with 2 decks. And you've got full spectrum, which is what we had earlier, which is the default. All right, so let's jump back to the beginning again. Here we are. Now, apart from that, we can also change the color of the waveform. So right now we've got monochrome, and that's why we've only got 2 colors for the waveforms. If you go full spectrum, now you've got these colors, which lets you see how the sound energies are, like in terms of bass, trebles, and that kind of thing. If you go multicolor, Yeah, so now the color scheme is different. It's again, so yeah, you can toggle these depending on what you like. I kind of like the monochrome look, so I'm gonna keep it like that. Zoom out a little bit. Now, I can also reposition the waveforms. Let's say I want it below the decks, kind of like how you have it in the extended layout in Serato DJ Pro. So I can have it looking like that if I want to. And I think this is really awesome because it just gives you a really quick and easy way to modify the layout without having to download like another skin. Of course, Virtual DJ is known for its user-generated skins as well as skins provided by the company. Basically, you can go online, download just about any kind of skin out there. You can even make it look like a CDJ if you want, or like a pair of CDJs and DJ a mixer. But it's nice to have this tweaking capability right from the main interface, just because, yeah, you can modify it depending on your mood, depending on what you want to see, and depending on the situation at the club or wherever you're spinning. Okay, so let's just bring it back to this setting. Now let's take a look at these other options. Show grid lines just lets you see the grid lines with greater clarity, because now you're seeing like the entire grid line as opposed to just the ticks at the top and bottom of the waveforms. And you've also got a bar counter over here. Really, really handy. This is something that has been around in previous versions of Virtual DJ, and actually this is something that I like in Rekordbox DJ as well. You can have this on screen if you like. Cool. Now you're probably wondering, hey, I want to see vertical waveforms. Where are the vertical waveforms? Well, you can just go over here to Scratch, and now voila, you've got your vertical waveforms over here. And while you use this slider over here to zoom in or out of these top waveforms, you can just change the resolution using that slider. But over here for the vertical waveform, all you need to do is to just use your mouse's scroll wheel or your touch surface, if that's what you're using, in order to zoom in or out of the waveform. Okay, and now let's take a look at color scheme here. So right now we're using the default color scheme. If I click on contrast, it's going to be a little bit more contrasted, so it's a punchier image. You can go to dark mode, so it's even darker. So if you're playing in a really dimly lit club and you don't want your screen just like, you know, brightening up like the entire DJ booth or your face, this is a nice layout to use. And of course, you can just use the brightness setting on your laptop, of course, but having this option here with an easy access is a nice touch. And finally, if you are DJing in the beach, you're outdoors, you got a barbecue, or maybe you're playing a festival, you can use daylight mode and it inverts the colors. So this is perfect when spinning under direct sunlight, because you're going to be able to see what's on the screen as opposed to, you know, having to cover or block out the sun with your hands, or like putting a shade on top of your laptop screen. So let's just jump back quickly to default mode. Let's take a look at the other customization options over here. You've got jog wheel display, and right now we're seeing the needle position. Let's just play this back. So you got the needle position over here, and we can change that to text, and now it kind of looks like the virtual decks in Serato DJ Pro, right? The other one is needle plus text, and now it really looks like the virtual decks in Serato DJ Pro. Cool. Yeah, I just like scratching using the mouse, but the cool thing about Virtual DJ, and this was a feature in Virtual DJ 2018, is that it has loaded scratch effects over here. Let me just show you how that sounds like. Yeah, I can just press these pads and make scratches. Yeah, so cool little feature. Other customization options in here. So we've gone through the color scheme, we've gone through the waveform display, we've gone through the jog wheel display. Now let's take a look at the beat counter. Currently we've got phrase bars. Let's try the phrase circle. And now you see these two circles pop up at the top of your screen. This tells you the phrase, and it helps you in your beat mixing, just so you know when to drop the next track in, and it always counts in 16 beats. 16 beats is equal to 4 bars. Cool. Now let's take a look at the other stuff in here. Remove show on waveform. Suddenly you don't get those bar info anymore. Cool. So that's what it looks like in 2-deck mode. Now if you go to 4 decks, you got your other decks here at the bottom. Let's just add some tracks in there. I kind of like this. It sort of looks like a tractor, just because you only have like the waveform over here. You don't have like a spinny virtual deck graphic. It's a nice way to just keep things a little bit more compact. Very, very cool. Again, easy to get into and to navigate. All right, so back to 2 decks mode. Cool, so we've taken a look at the Pro layout. Let's take a look at the other layouts over here. Let's check out Controller LE Skin. Now, I've used Virtual DJ with a Numark Party Mix, and that's why I get this Numark Party Mix looking skin. So really, it kind of looks like the hardware, right? You've got like your sync cue, play buttons, jog wheel over in here, as well as your 4 performance pads per deck. All right, so let's get out of the Party Mix skin and let's take a look at the starter skin now. So this is if you're just new to Virtual DJ, you don't need like all the complicated or advanced features of the Pro layout. So this is what you are seeing. You've got this turntable graphic over here. And then you've got these waveforms over here at the top, which shows you half of the waveform just so you can see the transients a little bit better. And of course, everything works as it should. Cool. So that's starter. Now let's take a look at essentials. So now this is a hybrid between the starter layout and the Pro layout. So you get a little bit more control over here on the DeX interface. And now you've got like these stacked waveforms over in here, as well as like different graphics for the mixer. So let's take a look at performance. And in performance mode, basically you don't have the deck graphic anymore. So it really is just like the waveform and the controls for the waveform, as well as the data needed in order for you to DJ. I kind of like performance mode because it strips back the interface, makes it look a little bit less cluttered. And the cool thing is I'm still able to change the way that some of these graphics look. So let's say I want a bar counter over in there. I want a different color scheme. I can change it if I want to. And I can also change the decks if I want. I can make it really small. Or, if I feel like, maybe I want to see those virtual decks again, I can just go back to full. And now I've got these nice looking and streamlined virtual deck graphics. So it's really cool. I like these new features in Virtual DJ 2020. Again, looks a little bit more mature, a little bit more somber and understated. And to me, that's great because again, I don't need like super duper flashy graphics while I'm DJing. I just need the information that is pertinent to me to be eye-catching. And in a digital DJ scenario, the most pertinent information for me would be the waveforms, as well as the information that is covered in the virtual decks. So there is a high degree of customizability and tweakability for the interface straight in the default UI of Virtual DJ 2020. And again, I think that is a really good design decision just because it gives you so much power to customize the way that the interface looks before you start DJing without having to look for skins online or spending a lot of time designing your own skin just so it looks the way that you want it to. And that's a big plus in my book because, again, what really matters in a piece of DJ software is how the DJ software performs and how stable it is. And Virtual DJ has been pretty stable for a while now. That's why it's one of the big 4 digital DJ apps out there. It is stable. It's got a ton of features. Some features haven't even been out on other DJ apps. Stuff like, sandbox mode, which basically let you rehearse a mix in your headphones without the crowd being able to hear it, just so you know how that mix will sound before you even execute it. And stuff like this, it falls really within the wheelhouse of Virtual DJ. The app really is one of the first to implement new and exciting features when it comes to digital DJing. If you're talking about music streaming, Virtual DJ was one of the first DJ apps to integrate that. They had the Content Unlimited service. You used to be able to spin from Spotify. It even had Shazam integration in the past. I think that was with Virtual DJ 8. I don't see it now over here in the browser section, so maybe that's gone. But they did have that before. And now you've got a bunch of other new features as well that have just been added over here in Virtual DJ 2020. And we're going to spend the remainder of this video talking about those new features. All right, so one of the new key features in Virtual DJ 2020 is called Advanced Harmonic Mixing. Basically, what this does is it automatically matches the pitch or musical key of a song that you've got playing. So let's say you've got this track over here. It's in the key of G, and I've already added this song, and it has been matched automatically by Virtual DJ 2020 for me, and it puts it in the key of C, which is a complementary key. So now whenever I play this, hit sync, and I can mix these two, and it decreases the chances of them clashing in terms of harmony. And that's what harmonic mixing does, essentially. It allows you to play two tracks together and they would sound like they are a good fit musically, even though you've got two tracks that are in the same tempo. For example, if you mix them and they are in different musical keys or they're in keys that are clashing, it sounds weird. It sounds off. Whenever you're doing harmonic mixing, basically you're playing songs that have the same musical key or are in complementary musical keys. Now, in other DJ software, you do have that key sync feature already, but this is the first time that it is really being implemented as an automated feature in Virtual DJ. And it's been around in Virtual DJ 2018. It was in beta, I believe, and in this current version, it just works pretty well. Now, of course, this is provided that you are only shifting between -1 or +1 semitones, for example. Let's try to add like a different song in here. Okay, so now this is an F sharp minor. This is in G. If I click on key, I get this pop-up. Smart key match only applies to key change within +1 or -1 semitones. If you want to adjust the key more than this, you can select it from the drop-down menu manually. So no, this isn't going to work just because it's in a totally different key, even though it's in F sharp and this is in G. They're still not in the same range because one is in minor and the other is in major. Now, if you really do want to key match this, all you need to do is click on this drop down and choose the right one, the one that's compatible. So in this sense, it is E minor because the relative minor of G major is E minor. I don't want to get into music theory, but basically that's what it is. And you need to go down to semitones. And that's why Virtual DJ doesn't do it automatically for you. So you can do that and you can go ahead and play these songs together and you would minimize that clashing of melodies or chords and that kind of thing. All right, now before we end this video, let's take a look at the event scheduler, which is one of the new features in Virtual DJ 2020. Basically, what it does is it lets you line up a series of commands for Virtual DJ, whether you want to play songs in a playlist one after another, or you want to play a video file after that playlist. Maybe you want to play a stinger. Maybe it's like your DJ name or it's a voiceover that you want to play in between songs. Yes, you can do that now. Everything is automated, so you don't even have to be behind the decks for this to happen. And this is cool if, say, you're like a wedding or a mobile DJ, you're at a function, you're playing music at a dinner. You don't necessarily need to be beat mixing during that time. Anyway, you can just leave Virtual DJ to do all of that for you, and you can script everything over here in the event scheduler. So let's take a look at that right now. Just a quick look. So if you click on that button, this pop-up is going to come out to your screen. Just click on the plus icon. And basically, if you click on what over here, this lets you select an action. And there are a couple in here. You got play a file, and you can click on this one, and another drop-down comes out. Click on that, and it'll give you your Finder or Windows Explorer, whatever that you're using, and then you can then pick a song that you want to play. You can play a video if you want to, and over here you can specify when you want this to play, whether it's after or at. Then you can just put like a time element in there. click save, and then now, whenever I click start, it'll play this. So stop, it's great to audition basically what you've put here in the event scheduler. Now, let's say you want to add something else in here. Just click on the plus icon. Then you can select the next action. If you want to play another song or another file, you can do that. If you want to play a sample, let's say, you want to add like an air horn or again, like a DJ drop or maybe a voiceover, you can do that. And then you can just click save. If you don't add anything, it starts it immediately. Now, of course, you can change this if you want to. You can just specify a time over in here, for example. Say it's 16:40. Now, if you take a look at the clock over here on the upper right, let's just wait for it to count down a little bit closer to 16:40. You can even add like another action in here right before the countdown starts. So let's say I've got a playlist in here that I want to play at, let's say 16:41, save. Okay, so 16:40 on the clock, this track plays, and then you've also got the air horn sample playing. Now you can toggle this if you like. Let's say you don't want the song to be playing anymore. Click on that icon and it'll stop playing. Now let's just wait a little while up until 16:41 shows up here on the clock, and we can see whether or not Virtual DJ will play this playlist, and I'm willing to bet that it will, because that's basically what the event scheduler is supposed to do. Again, if you are a mobile DJ, you play a lot of weddings, a lot of functions, a lot of corporate events, and there are times throughout the entire gig that you're not even mixing music anymore. You're just playing one track after another in a playlist. You can assign and schedule all of those songs, those videos, those voiceovers, and those playlists over here in the scheduler. It's really, really neat. It's really handy. And I think this is going to get a lot of use for pro DJs. There you go. Just like that. Just like clockwork. So that's it for the event scheduler. Now, apart from adding these actions, you can also do other stuff like display a text message. You can display a slideshow of images if you like, and you can even execute a script. So this is more for those who like coding in Virtual DJ, who know how to script the engine and make it do things in particular. Now, it's a little bit beyond me because I'm not really that familiar with the scripting system in Virtual DJ, but the cool thing is if you know how to use it, you can add that as like an event item in the scheduler. You can execute a script, whatever script it is that you want to use, and then it's going to show up as a part of this entire schedule. So again, awesome for mobile, function, and pro DJs. So that's it for this first look video of Virtual DJ 2020. Of course, we're going to do a full review of this app, including all of its features and functions, so keep checking back on this channel, and don't forget to subscribe if you still aren't a subscriber. And please let me know what you think of this app. Do you like the new look? Is the harmonic mixing feature useful? Do you think the event scheduler is cool? Let me know in the comments, okay? Thanks for watching. Now get good, get out there, and make the moments.